Why is the Middle East already in a mess, but Asia is safe and sound? Just because it's called the East Asian Monster House, any country can easily dominate the Middle East. Let's first look at what the East Asian Monster House is. In terms of chivalry, the East Asian Monster House refers to the four countries of China, Japan, Korea, and Korea. If you expand the scope a little bit, you can also bring Mongolia and Vietnam. And the reason why it's called the Monster House, it's because every country in it has a lot of skills. First, let's take a look at our good brother, North Korea. The population of North Korea is about 25 million, and the number of North Korea's active troops is an astounding 1.2 million. There are also about 5,000 tanks and armored vehicles. In addition, there are all kinds of cannons, more than 28,000 doors. And North Korea has 3 armies. Although the Air Force and Navy are weaker, but North Korea's army is a real battle maniac. At present, the number of North Korean army is about 900,000. Just look at the army. North Korea can fight any small and medium-sized country. Not to mention that North Korea also has a powerful nuclear weapon. Even the United States dare not provoke this. But North Korea also has a drawback. That is, the economy. North Korea's economy has always been a short version of North Korea, because the North Korean government has been in a state of closed-door state for a long time. In addition, the United States has imposed sanctions on North Korea for a long time, so North Korea's economic development is very difficult. But fortunately, North Korea has the help of our country and Russia. So as soon as North Korea has money, it will develop its military power. Only their own military power is strong enough that people can live and work. Let's take a look at North Korea's neighbor, South Korea. At present, the number of active people in South Korea is about 600,000. It is also divided into 3 armies. From the point of view of self-destruction, South Korea's strength is far less than North Korea. But is that really the case? To be honest, South Korea's weapons and equipment are far more advanced than North Korea. South Korea has the 5th-generation fighter jet and the world's largest destroyer. These 2 weapons are unique in the world. Of course, South Korea does not have nuclear weapons, but South Korea's economy is far above North Korea. In addition, South Korea also has the US military, and the strength of the South Korean army is not to be underestimated. South Korea's tank and rocket cannons are also over 10 million, so South Korea can also crush any small and medium-sized country. The third country is Japan. The strength of the Japanese self-defense force is no less than that of North Korea and South Korea. You know, Japan is a defeated country in World War II. It can't have its own military power. But under the support of the United States, Japan is still building the self-defense force, and with the passage of time, the strength of the Japanese self-defense force is also getting stronger. At present, the number of people in the Japanese self-defense force has reached 250,000, and the weapons and equipment are also very advanced. The Air Force has the F-35 5th-generation fighter jet, the Navy has small air carriers and all kinds of warships, missiles, tanks, and armored vehicles. From these points of view, Japan's strength is also moderate. But the economy of Japan is very strong. Industrial development is also very leading. To put it bluntly, Japan's current industry can be used to build nuclear bombs. So Japan's overall strength is not to be underestimated. The 4th country is Mongolia. Their military power is not weak. At present, Mongolia's military force is about 100,000. Most of their military equipment was built by the former Soviet Union. In addition, the economy of Mongolia has not been very optimistic, but the geographical location of Mongolia is the best in the world. From the map, Mongolia is in the middle of China and Russia. As the buffer zone between China and Russia, as long as China and Russia have a long friendship, I believe that Mongolia will not have war. At the same time, the countries outside do not want to attack Mongolia, because once they attack Mongolia, they must first step into the territory of China and Russia. I'm afraid they can't do that. After all, the military power of China and Russia, I'm afraid even the United States will have to do something. The last country is China. China's overall strength is the strongest in East Asia. East Asian monsters have gathered so many strong countries. Why is it so peaceful so far? It's not as chaotic as the Middle East. In fact, the reason is very simple. Because this is East Asia. East Asia has China as its witness. After the establishment of the Republic of China in the last century, our country has maintained a military lead in East Asia. 5 million troops plus 20 million reserve troops. To this day, there is still a lot of fear in the hearts of East Asian countries. Enter the new century, our strength has skyrocketed. All kinds of advanced weapons and equipment are everywhere. J-20 and O-5 large areas and controlled electromagnetic missile carrier. There are also the Dongfeng 41 giant wave family that arrived in 22 minutes, a rocket with a range of 1,700 kilometers. All kinds of powerful equipment are everywhere. In addition, our country is one of the 5 great powers of the United Nations. Even if these countries in the East Asian defense are strong, it's enough to be called the king and the Bazir in the Middle East and Europe. But as long as you're still in East Asia, you have to stay honest. Dare not cause any substantial waves.